Welcome back to Virtual Stoic. Life is a journey full of highs and lows, challenges and victories. It's a constant struggle between our inner strengths and weaknesses. While we all dream of living a purposeful and resilient life, certain habits often hold us back from unlocking our true potential. In today's transformative journey, we'll uncover 8 bad habits that make you weak and learn how to overcome them using the timeless principles of Stoicism. Stoicism, an ancient Greek philosophy founded by Zeno of Citium in the early 3rd century BC, offers profound wisdom that remains as relevant today as it was centuries ago. It teaches us to focus on what we can control, cultivate virtues like wisdom, courage, and self-discipline, and face life's inevitable challenges with grace and resilience. As we explore these 8 habits, remember that self-awareness is the first step toward transformation. By recognizing and acknowledging these habits within ourselves, we can begin replacing them with Stoic principles, empowering us to live a life of strength, purpose, and inner peace. Let's dive in. Habit 1. The trap of procrastination. Procrastination, the habit of postponing tasks and responsibilities, is one of the most destructive forces in our lives. It's a habit that weakens our mental resolve, sabotages our progress, and prevents us from living to our fullest potential. While the task itself might seem insignificant at the moment, the cumulative effect of procrastination robs us of our most valuable and limited resource, time. Stoicism, with its focus on self-discipline in the present moment, offers a powerful remedy for this widespread problem. As the great Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best." While this advice may refer to the people we surround ourselves with, it also applies to the habits we cultivate. Actions like companions should bring out the best in us, not weigh us down with regret and guilt. At its core, procrastination arises from 2 primary sources: fear and discomfort. Fear of failure, fear of not meeting expectations, or even fear of success can prevent us from starting a task. Similarly, the discomfort of facing a challenging or tedious responsibility can make procrastination feel like an easy escape. But Stoicism teaches us to confront these emotions head-on. Instead of succumbing to fear or discomfort, Stoics remind us to focus on what we can control, the action itself. The Stoic principle of carpe diem, or seizing the day, is not just about making the most of your time. It's about recognizing that the present moment is the only time you truly own. Procrastination, on the other hand, is rooted in anxiety about the future. We delay action because we focus too much on potential outcomes, what might happen if we succeed or fail, rather than taking a step forward. But Stoicism encourages us to embrace the process. It's not about achieving perfection, it's about showing up and doing the work one small step at a time. Breaking free from procrastination starts with a mindset shift. First, set realistic, manageable goals instead of overwhelming yourself with the bigger picture. For example, instead of saying, "I need to finish this entire project," reframe it as, "I'll work on this task for the next 30 minutes. Small, consistent efforts accumulate over time and lead to significant progress. Second, accept the discomfort that comes with starting something difficult. Challenges are not obstacles to avoid, but opportunities to grow stronger. It is often in the moments of greatest discomfort that we develop the resilience needed for larger victories in life. Stoicism reminds us that discomfort is temporary, but the reward of taking action lasts far longer. Finally, remember the irreversible nature of time. Every second you spend procrastinating is a second lost forever. This realization should inspire urgency, not stress. Instead of lamenting lost time, focus on the time you have now and how you can use it to move forward. Procrastination is a habit that shackles us to inaction, but Stoicism provides the key to breaking free. By focusing on the present moment, confronting our fears, and embracing discomfort, we can transform wasted time into purposeful action. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." With this wisdom in mind, take control of today and build a life of strength, purpose, and resilience. Habit 2. Negative self-talk. Negative self-talk, the constant stream of self-criticism and doubt, can silently sabotage even the strongest among us. It erodes our self-belief, chips away at our confidence, and prevents us from reaching our true potential. As Marcus Aurelius, the renowned Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, wisely said, "Our life is what our thoughts make it." The way we speak to ourselves shapes not only how we see the world, but also how we navigate it. Negative self-talk is a habit that keeps us trapped in a cycle of fear and insecurity. It amplifies our flaws, magnifies our mistakes, and blinds us to our strengths. Stoicism, however, offers a liberating perspective. It teaches us to become the masters of our thoughts, replacing negativity with rationality, understanding, and self-compassion. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of monitoring our inner dialogue. He believed that our perception of reality is shaped by our thoughts, and by cultivating a rational and positive mindset, we can fundamentally transform our lives. To combat negative self-talk, the first step is self-awareness. Pay attention to the way you speak to yourself. Notice when your thoughts take a critical turn, or when self-doubt begins to creep in. However, instead of harshly judging yourself for having these thoughts, observe them with curiosity and neutrality. This creates a mental space to challenge these negative narratives. Next, adopt a Stoic practice of questioning your thoughts. Ask yourself, are these beliefs rooted in evidence, or are they merely projections of fear and insecurity? Many of our negative thoughts are exaggerated or even entirely unfounded. By examining them through the lens of rationality, you can separate fact from fiction and begin to shift your mindset. Marcus Aurelius and other Stoics also encourage practicing self-compassion. Treat yourself as you would a close friend facing a similar struggle. If a friend made a mistake or doubted their abilities, would you harshly criticize them, or would you offer support, understanding, and encouragement? Apply this same kindness to yourself. Instead of berating yourself for perceived shortcomings, focus on the lessons you can learn and the ways you can improve. Finally, replace the negative with the constructive. Every time you catch yourself engaging in self-criticism, consciously redirect your energy toward a more empowering thought. For example, instead of thinking, "I'll never be good enough," tell yourself, "I am a work in progress and I have the strength to keep improving." Over time, this practice builds inner resilience and rewires your mind for positivity. Negative self-talk weakens us by keeping us tethered to our insecurities. But by embracing Stoic principles, rationality, self-compassion, and mindfulness, we can free ourselves from this inner critic. As you replace negativity with constructive self-dialogue, you'll discover a profound inner strength that enables you to face life's challenges with confidence and grace. Habit 3. The comfort trap. If you want to improve yourself, be willing to let others think you are foolish and ignorant. These words, inspired by Stoic wisdom, remind us of a simple but powerful truth. Growth only happens outside of our comfort zone. Avoiding challenges and staying within the realm of the familiar might feel safe, but it ultimately weakens our development and limits our potential. When we choose comfort over difficulty, we miss out on opportunities to cultivate patience, resilience, and adaptability. Stoicism teaches us that challenges are not obstacles to avoid, but stepping stones toward self-improvement. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus believed that true personal growth and mastery arise from facing adversity and voluntarily stepping into discomfort. Through challenges, we not only strengthen our character but also gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. In today's fast-paced society, the allure of convenience often leads us to avoid anything that feels difficult or uncomfortable. We seek instant gratification, choosing the path of least resistance. While this might bring temporary ease, it comes at the cost of long-term growth. Avoiding challenges robs us of opportunities to stretch our abilities, test our limits, and realize our full potential. By staying in our comfort zone, we stagnate, missing the valuable lessons and growth that come from facing life's difficulties. Stoicism emphasizes that true strength lies in confronting challenges with patience and courage. The discomfort we encounter during difficult situations is not a punishment, it's a teacher. Each obstacle presents a chance to develop virtues like perseverance, self-control, and moral fortitude. By stepping into discomfort, we become stronger, more capable, and better equipped to handle future challenges with grace and confidence. Avoiding challenges can also create an unhealthy fear of failure. When we constantly seek the safe path, we miss the valuable lessons that come from making mistakes. Stoic philosophy reframes failure as an essential part of life. Instead of viewing it as a setback, the Stoics encourage us to see failure as an opportunity to learn and grow. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. In other words, challenges and failures are not roadblocks. They are the road itself. It's important to note that seeking discomfort doesn't mean inviting unnecessary suffering. Stoicism doesn't advocate for needless pain, but rather for facing life's inevitable difficulties with a calm and rational mind. The goal is to change our perspective, recognizing that discomfort is a natural part of life and a catalyst for growth. By reframing our relationship with challenges, we can embrace them as opportunities rather than threats. When we actively seek challenges and step outside our comfort zone, we build resilience and self-control. We learn to depend on our internal strength and values rather than external circumstances for happiness and fulfillment. This shift in perspective allows us to approach life with a greater sense of purpose, adaptability, and calm. Applying Stoic principles to the way we handle challenges can profoundly transform our lives. Instead of being overwhelmed by setbacks, we learn to face them with a mindset rooted in patience and growth. By embracing discomfort and understanding its role in personal development, we begin the journey of self-discovery and improvement. So the next time you encounter a challenge, remind yourself that growth starts at the edge of your comfort zone. Habit 4. Indulging in excessive materialism. In a world where the pursuit of material wealth often defines success, the Stoic approach reminds us of the emptiness that excessive materialism can bring. Habit number 4 on the list emphasizes the importance of choosing inner values, morality, and personal growth over material possessions. Stoic philosophy warns us that when we become consumed by materialism, we risk losing sight of what truly matters, and we are left perpetually dissatisfied and unfulfilled. The modern world, dominated by consumerism and the constant bombardment of advertisements, encourages us to chase after financial success and the accumulation of possessions. We tend to think that owning more, whether it's the latest gadgets, a bigger house, or more clothes, will lead to happiness and fulfillment. However, Stoicism teaches us a crucial lesson. External things are ultimately transient. They can be lost, stolen, or destroyed at any moment. And when we depend on them for happiness, we set ourselves up for a lifetime of disappointment. When we tie our happiness and self-worth to the things we own, we breed an insatiable thirst for more. The more we accumulate, the more we desire, creating a never-ending cycle of longing. There's always something new to covet or someone who appears to have more, which leaves us in a constant state of dissatisfaction. This can lead to a harmful obsession with wealth, status, or the latest material trends, an obsession that never truly satisfies, leaving us eternally chasing something just out of reach. Seneca, one of the most respected Stoic philosophers, stressed the importance of distinguishing between our needs and our wants. He urged us to reevaluate our desires and make sure they align with our true well-being and values. Overindulgence in material possessions is often rooted in the false belief that owning more will bring us happiness forever. But in reality, this constant need for more leads to an endless cycle of craving that only feeds our unhappiness. To break free from the habit of excessive materialism, we must first learn the art of contentment. Start by appreciating what you already have, rather than constantly longing for what's next. Recognize that the pursuit of worldly goods can trap us in a cycle of dissatisfaction. Instead, shift your focus to cultivating virtues like compassion, wisdom, and courage. These inner values, according to Stoic philosophy, are the true sources of fulfillment. The Stoics urge us to place more emphasis on nurturing our internal qualities, those things that are within our control, rather than seeking external validation through material possessions. Virtues such as justice, courage, wisdom, and tranquility are the real treasures that bring lasting peace. By prioritizing these, we can create a life filled with deeper meaning and greater satisfaction. Excessive materialism often leads to anxiety and insecurity. The fear of losing what we have or comparing ourselves to those who appear to have more robs us of our peace of mind. This attachment to material things prevents us from living with true tranquility and contentment. Stoic philosophy teaches us to practice detachment, not by abandoning all material possessions, but by cultivating a healthier relationship with them. Detachment doesn't mean renouncing all comforts, but rather recognizing that things are tools, useful instruments that can enhance our lives, but not the source of our happiness. By practicing gratitude and focusing on what matters, we can detach ourselves from the need to constantly acquire more. Gratitude helps us shift our perspective, allowing us to appreciate the present moment and the things we already possess. This practice helps break the chains of consumerism, making room for a more minimalist approach to life. By embracing minimalism, we can simplify our lives and free ourselves from the distractions of excess. We can focus on what's truly important, cultivating virtues, building meaningful relationships, and contributing to society. This mental shift aligns with Stoic principles, helping us live a life that prioritizes personal growth and fulfillment over the fleeting pleasures of material wealth. In conclusion, an over-attachment to material possessions undermines our ability to live a Stoic life. It diverts our attention away from the internal values that lead to long-term happiness. By recognizing the temporary nature of external things and practicing detachment, we can break free from the cycle of consumerism. True fulfillment lies not in accumulating wealth, but in the growth of virtues and the cultivation of inner peace. Habit 5. The need for external validation. In a world dominated by social media and the constant need for approval, seeking external validation has become an ingrained habit for many. However, this habit undermines the core principles of Stoic philosophy, which encourages us to focus on cultivating inner virtues, rather than depending on the praise or acceptance of others. When we rely too heavily on outside approval, we weaken our sense of independence and allow the opinions of others to dictate our self-worth. In today's culture, where social media platforms reign supreme, the validation we seek is often measured in likes, comments, and followers. We base our happiness and self-esteem on how others perceive us, allowing their approval or disapproval to determine our value. This creates a fragile sense of self-worth that can easily be shattered by the shifting tides of public opinion. Stoicism, on the other hand, reminds us that true happiness and contentment originate from within, from our actions, values, and virtues, not from the validation of others. Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of focusing on personal virtues like wisdom, courage, justice, and self-control, qualities that are within our control and independent of the opinions of others. These virtues help us build a strong, resilient character that is not swayed by external factors. By constantly seeking validation from others, we make ourselves vulnerable to changing opinions and open the door to a never-ending search for approval, which ultimately disrupts our inner peace and happiness. To understand the detrimental effects of seeking external validation, consider the following example. Imagine you've poured your heart and effort into writing a blog post or creating a piece of work. Initially, you feel proud and fulfilled by the work itself. However, as soon as you publish it, you immediately check for likes, comments, and views. If the response isn't what you expected, you feel deflated, questioning the value of your effort. This cycle of seeking external approval undermines the value of your work and erodes your sense of accomplishment. The key to breaking free from this pattern is recognizing that chasing external validation is futile and fleeting. The opinions of others are often beyond our control, and their judgments are subject to change. Instead of seeking constant approval, focus on cultivating your inner virtues and aligning your actions with Stoic ideals. Start by practicing self-acceptance and self-awareness. When you seek validation, ask yourself, does this feedback align with my values? Is it truly important to my growth? Why do I feel the need for approval from others? Remember that your worth is not defined by the opinions of others. It is defined by your actions, your integrity, and the virtues you cultivate within yourself. By reflecting on your actions through the lens of Stoic philosophy, you can gain confidence in your ability to evaluate and judge your worth. Self-acceptance is about trusting yourself and your capacity to make decisions based on your personal growth, not on how others perceive you. Surround yourself with people who support your personal development, who provide constructive feedback, and who genuinely care for you, rather than those who only contribute to your need for validation. Seek input from trusted individuals who encourage your growth, but remember that their feedback should not define your work or your self-worth. In conclusion, seeking external validation constantly weakens your ability to practice Stoic philosophy, as it places your self-worth in the hands of others. Instead, focus on cultivating virtues and achieving internal satisfaction. Develop self-awareness and surround yourself with people who support your journey. By doing so, you can live a life that aligns with Stoic principles and find true peace and fulfillment from within. Habit 6. Negative emotions. Stoic philosophy stresses the importance of emotional control. Negative emotions like anger, jealousy, and anxiety can cloud our judgment and hinder rational thinking. When we allow these emotions to take over, we often act impulsively and regret it later. Emotions like envy can breed resentment, damaging our relationships and preventing us from taking necessary actions in life. Stoicism teaches that emotions are impressions based on our judgments of the world. Since we control our perceptions, we also have the power to manage our emotional responses. Stoics don't advocate for emotional suppression, but for emotional resilience. The goal isn't to deny emotions, but to meet them with reason and moderation. While negative emotions are natural, Stoicism advises us to respond with calmness and restraint, preventing them from derailing our sense of peace. Instead of being ruled by our emotions, we are taught to respond rationally and in alignment with virtue. To break the pattern of reacting emotionally, we can practice mindfulness. By being aware of our feelings as they arise, we give ourselves the space to choose a more thoughtful response. Challenging our assumptions also helps, as negative emotions often stem from flawed judgments. Reflecting on our thoughts and actions regularly enables us to spot emotional triggers and develop better responses over time. Rather than seeking retaliation when we feel wronged, Stoicism encourages us to choose virtue, kindness, forgiveness, and compassion over bitterness. Embracing calmness and focusing on what we can control allows us to maintain emotional serenity, even in difficult situations. Through continuous practice of these Stoic principles, we can cultivate emotional resilience and reduce the impact of negative emotions on our lives. In conclusion, negative emotions can disrupt our Stoic practice if we let them control our behavior. By practicing mindfulness, self-reflection, and choosing virtue, we can better manage our emotions and live a life guided by reason and inner peace. The key is to acknowledge emotions without letting them dictate our actions, fostering a life of emotional mastery. Habit 7. Dwelling on past mistakes. Stoic philosophy teaches us that dwelling on past mistakes can significantly hinder our ability to move forward. Instead of focusing on our faults, Stoicism encourages us to focus on the present moment and learn from our past actions without letting them define us. Unfortunately, many people get stuck in a cycle of regret, self-blame, and remorse, which stops them from growing. Replaying past errors over and over in our minds only amplifies negative emotions, leaving us feeling stuck and unable to make positive changes. One of the core ideas of Stoicism is recognizing that we cannot change the past. It's not the events themselves that distress us, but how we interpret and react to them. As Epictetus famously said, "It's not the things that happen, but our perception of them that causes us trouble." By continually focusing on past mistakes, we feed into negative thoughts and emotions, causing unnecessary suffering. Instead, Stoicism urges us to accept our past, take responsibility for our actions, and concentrate on what we can control in the present moment. To break this habit, it's important to practice self-forgiveness and compassion. Mistakes are a natural part of being human, and they are crucial to our learning and development. Instead of viewing errors as failures, we should see them as opportunities for growth. Every mistake holds a lesson that contributes to our evolution. Adopting this mindset allows us to let go of the past and focus on improving ourselves today. Mindfulness is a powerful tool to help us stop ruminating on past errors. By focusing on the present and accepting it without judgment, we free ourselves from the cycle of regret and guilt. Additionally, cultivating gratitude can shift our focus away from past mistakes, helping us appreciate the lessons they brought while fostering contentment in the here and now. Breaking the habit of dwelling on past mistakes requires effort, but it is possible by applying Stoic principles. We have control over how we respond to our history, and lingering on regrets only holds us back from living a happy, virtuous life. Through self-compassion, mindfulness, and gratitude, we can learn from our past and focus on becoming the best versions of ourselves in the present. Habit 8. Ignoring the well-being of others. In Stoic philosophy, the idea of cosmopolitanism emphasizes that we are all members of the global human community and should care about the well-being of others. Ignoring the needs and suffering of others erodes our moral virtues, such as empathy, and obstructs our growth in ethical traits. Stoicism teaches us the importance of cultivating virtues like wisdom, justice, courage, and moderation, which are essential for living in harmony with the natural world and each other. One key virtue in Stoicism is benevolence or kindness toward others. This virtue breaks down when we disregard the well-being of others, causing us to become disconnected and estranged from one another. Indifference to others' suffering can manifest in many ways, whether it's ignoring the struggles of the less fortunate or failing to offer support when it's needed. By neglecting to care, we miss out on opportunities to practice empathy and compassion, both of which are crucial for building moral character. Stoic philosophy reminds us that all people are interdependent, and we should see each individual as deserving of respect, consideration, and care. Cultivating empathy and taking action to improve others' well-being is not only beneficial to them but also enhances our own lives. Research shows that acts of kindness have a positive effect on the giver's well-being, fostering a sense of contentment and purpose. When we actively care for others, we feel more connected and fulfilled. Disregarding others' well-being, on the other hand, encourages selfishness and hinders our growth. Stoic philosophy teaches that true happiness and contentment come from living a life of morality and reason, one that is deeply connected to others. By focusing solely on ourselves, we become prisoners of our self-interest and lose sight of the greater human connection. To break this pattern and strengthen our Stoic practice, we must cultivate empathy and kindness. This can be done by adopting the virtue of benevolence, engaging in acts of kindness, and learning about the experiences and perspectives of others. Through these actions, we not only uphold Stoic principles but also contribute to a compassionate and peaceful world. By promoting others' well-being, we become agents of positive change in society. In conclusion, ignoring the well-being of others goes against the core teachings of Stoicism. By practicing empathy, kindness, and compassion, we align ourselves with the Stoic ideal of living a morally upright and fulfilled life, rooted in harmony with others and the world around us. Conclusion. Ignoring the well-being of others is a habit that weakens our practice of Stoic philosophy. By recognizing the importance of empathy and goodwill, we can actively work to overcome this habit and cultivate a greater concern for the welfare of all humanity. In doing so, we not only strengthen our character but also contribute to the creation of a more ethical and compassionate society. Through the 8 habits that make you weak, we've explored in depth the wisdom of Stoic philosophy and how its principles can equip us to overcome these habits. Each of these habits can be transformed by applying Stoic thinking. Stoic philosophy teaches us to focus on what we can control, nurture virtues, and face life's challenges with courage and patience. It encourages us to find happiness in the present moment and relinquish the need for external approval and material possessions. It empowers us to step out of our comfort zone and learn from the past without being bound by regret. As you embark on the journey of transforming weakness into strength, remember that change takes time and effort. Be patient with yourself and practice Stoic principles regularly in your daily life. With dedication and perseverance, you can break free from these habits and live a purposeful, resilient, and tranquil life. Embrace the teachings of Stoic philosophy, seek acceptance from within, replace complaints with gratitude, prioritize virtue over material wealth, face challenges with courage, and let go of the past. By doing so, you will begin a transformational journey that leads you to a life of strength, wisdom, and lasting happiness. The journey is yours, and the destination is within reach. Seize today and transform your life with Stoic philosophy. Thank you for watching this video. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, please like and share it with others who may benefit from it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We hope you will continue to follow us and learn and grow together.